name is Mitch Appelbaum. I've been practicing for almost 30 years now. I had started at a law firm and had been there for many years and had been practicing in our bankruptcy and insolvency area. And more recently, I decided to change careers and move in-house. For about 7 years now, I've been working over at State Street Bank and Trust Company, which is a custody bank and asset manager based here in Boston. I've been working with a broad team and a big group of attorneys there. But it's my first foray into the in-house world. And it's been interesting. It's been exciting. And as I think I've come to realize, no 2 days seem to be the same. So that was one of the things I was looking for in that transition. As far as the ACC goes, I've been involved with the ACC for about 2 years now. My initial connection was through being a participant in a programming session on insolvency law. And through that, I became more and more interested in the organization and have found myself now being a member of its board of directors and also on our programming committee. So I've gone from, probably from 0 to 60, in a very, very short time with them. And it's been exciting. I think there are two things. First of all, the programming that ACC offers has been both informative and it's also given me an opportunity to learn things that I never thought I would learn about, or areas of law that I never thought that I would want to or be interested in learning about. While I may not be using all of the different topics that are part of the programming every single day, or maybe at all, I do think having the background that programming offers is great and helpful. And I've actually been able to get other members that work with me involved too. So I think that's been nice. And it's as I say, it's a very, very broad range of programming that's going on there. The second thing, and this is just been tremendous, is the people. The people at the ACC Northeast are wonderful, both at the senior level, on the board and in some of the committees, but also the membership. It's really been a great opportunity to meet a whole host of people, even in this COVID environment, that I never thought I would, that I probably never would have met otherwise or connected with, and to get to know them a little bit better. So I think between the programming and bringing people together, particularly in this environment we're living through now, has just been a tremendous benefit to me. And I look forward to when we can all return to doing in-person meetings and the like, to actually getting to meet people truly face to face. So I think, and this is probably an issue that everyone is going to be dealing with either now or in the near future, is the return to office environment. Before COVID, we were all used to working together in an office and sort of had our means of communicating and working and collaborating, through that. We were all forced into a work from home environment. And nobody quite was sure how to deal with that at first, but we've all come to adapt to it and to sort of develop our processes and means for interacting that way. Now with the return to office, I think we're going to see more of a hybrid environment and trying to get both our legal teams and our business teams to sort of work in this environment where some people may be in the office, some people may be working from home, and that may be changing up day to day, week to week. Is going to be a new challenge, and trying to figure out how to make that work is probably one of the biggest things that I'm working through now and trying to work through with my team over at State Street. Some of the other areas too, being in the financial services industry, one of the big other areas that is continuing to grow is the whole transformation into the digital world. Whether it's digital contracts, whether it's digital assets, whether it's anything else that has the word digital or electronic associated with it, these are issues that institutions have not had to deal with before, and we're trying to adapt and to implement and to sort of bring them into our day-to-day life. And trying to think about what it takes to be an in-house lawyer. It's really going to vary depending upon where you're working and the people you're working with and the types of issues and environment you're dealing with. That being said, I think some of the key characteristics are key characteristics we all have to, we all have as lawyers. I mean, you're going to have to first and foremost be a good lawyer. You're going to have to be able to, work with people and interact and sort of understand their issues, understand their problems, and sort of help them solve those issues. And I think finally, we're going to have to be able to understand more deeply than maybe, as a private law firm practitioner, the business that you're working with. I find myself in a real role where I'm trying to take legal issues and ideas and themes and theories and sort of translate them into what does that mean for the businesses that I support? What is, when you talk about consideration for a contract, what does that mean in the context of the world that you're particularly working? If you're talking about data privacy, well, that's a general topic. How does that play into the particular business that you're working with? Do you have data privacy issues? What does that mean? What information do you need to be worrying about? So I think it's really being, dealing with core fundamental skills and, experiences. I think the other thing is to be really adaptable. And as I said, I think earlier on, no 2 days have been the same for me since I've moved in-house. And it's really taking, some of the same issues that you may see, but being able to deal with them in a whole bunch of different scenarios, and dealing with a whole bunch of different people. Because and I think being adaptable in that way, is an important skill to any in-house role, because not only now are you working on the legal side, but you're also finding ways to adapt legal principles into the business and sort of help the business teams implement changes that may be needed as a result of that. I hate to think that I've been working, practicing for so long, but I guess I have been. And probably, when I started out, in-house, an in-house role was not necessarily something that people looked to do. I think that was more of a second, or even third thought as far as a career path. I think now what we've seen is that there's been a transformation over these, the past 30 years, maybe even more over the past, 10 or 15 years, where in-house roles are becoming more and more important, and they're becoming more and more interesting. I never really, until I started working in-house, I never truly appreciated how interesting the roles can be. And again, how diverse the issues are that, as an in-house lawyer, you need to either have knowledge about or know where to find knowledge or where to go for it and sort of deal with on a day-to-day basis. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things. The other thing there's been a real transformation to the global world. 30 years ago, companies were sort of locally based, regionally based, nationally. Now, companies, even small companies and businesses, are dealing with issues globally. They're dealing with privacy issues, data protection issues, contract issues, e-commerce issues. So, all of these, if you're doing it beyond, your neighbors next door, are going to have global impact, and you're going to need to look to global legal issues and compliance issues and a whole bunch of other concerns as well that 30 years ago we never had, and that brings a whole nother level of complexity and actually excitement and interest to the practice, particularly at State Street for me.